Welcome back, guys. Max here. And now, while I would love to make several videos covering all the topics in today's video, I thought, no, make one, cover them all. There's nothing more annoying than listening to a YouTuber trying to fill out time by babbling about nothing. So in today's video, I'm covering a bunch of subjects all about Battlefield. So what's happening in the Battlefield world, you ask? Well, while there has been some news from the DICE devs, it seems to me that it's really just an attempt to make what they have is bigger than it really is. And that leads me to the first topic, and it is Battlefield 1 really dead? We hear all the time through social media and other YouTube videos that the game is dead, it has no community and nobody is playing it. Well, is that true? Well, in a word, no. It's not true. The game is alive and well, and although nobody can deny the player base and count is on the decline, it's certainly a long way from being dead. If it was dead by my understanding of the word, then the player base would be zero. The player base is far from zero, but has seen a steady decline in numbers as most titles do, but social media would have us believe this is far quicker than previous titles. So, is that the case? Well, on the screen right now, you will see the player counts from Battlefield 1 compared with Battlefield 4. I've taken the last month of stats to compare, and if we look back at the same time in 2016, you see that on the PC the difference is actually only 4,000 players. The big differences come when we compare the figures between consoles. It will come as no surprise that the PS4 guys make up the majority of the player base, but I must admit even I was slightly shocked to see the comps. Xbox One player base at the same time period from Battlefield 1 to Battlefield 4 is actually 57% lower. So 57% less people were playing Battlefield 4 in the same time period as are playing now in Battlefield 1. Then we look at PS4 numbers and we see that again in the same time in 2016 there were 43%, actually it's closer to 44, you do the math right, 44% fewer players playing Battlefield 4 than are currently playing Battlefield 1. So the question still stands, is the game dead? Well, I would suggest not. However, what I would suggest is the lack of content has perhaps driven players' interest away a little quicker than it did in Battlefield 4. If we had anywhere close to the number of DLC revisions and content added as Battlefield 4 did, I think the player base would be a lot stronger. Will DICE be able to sustain its current player base with the incoming DLC? Well, only time will tell us that, but my gut tells me it may be a little too late to get back the players that it's already lost. The current player base is still excited for the DLC, and I, for one, am not going anywhere soon. So to answer the question is it dead? Well, of course it's not dead. It's just been heavily affected by the lack of content, which give the illusion that nobody's playing it. Now, the next topic on the agenda is the age-old favourite, and that kind of ties in, I guess, with the previous topic, and that is the CTE. The CTE is still only available for PC players, and as the stats show, they are the little guys when it comes to the player base. So having feedback from this community is helpful, and of course they, as do we, have the right to an opinion. I do feel the opinion shared by PC players is often skewed because of the huge differences between PC and console. Now, it certainly is not the PC Brigade's fault that they have the CTE and we do not, but 10 months into Battlefield 1's life cycle and with a dwindling PC player base, I think it's way overdue that DICE give access to the CTE to console players. So why don't we have it, you ask? Well, there are numerous reasons. Poor planning by DICE is right up there at the forefront. They knew about the implementation of CTE a long time before we did, and so had plenty of time to go to Microsoft and Sony and share with them the information needed to get the ball rolling. That being said, the approval process is different for both companies, so it's double the work and it's double the cost. Approval process, you ask? What the hell is that? How does that work? Well, in a nutshell, both Sony and Microsoft require all game developers to submit their patches and games in advance for certification and for approval. Every time there is a new patch, there is a whole bunch of different netcode and data that changes within the game. This can also change the way your console behaves. So Microsoft and Sony want to protect their equipment in essence. They don't need 60 million PS4 users demanding replacement consoles because they let something slip through the net. Now, it can also affect their networks, so all in all, there is a lot going on behind the scenes, and both these giants hardware, I guess, slash software companies want to protect their investments. So will we ever see the CTE for consoles? Well, the easy answer to that is yes, of course we will. But as I've just explained, creating a CTE where DICE can randomly drop things in would bypass Sony and Microsoft's approval process. So before they will allow it, some very special doors and some very special locks need to be installed to protect your console. My guess is we won't see the CTE for console until after the Russian DLC drops, but fingers crossed, with that topic, I'm wrong. And that leads me on to my final topic, and that is DLC weapons. We already know that there will be 11 new weapons dropping with the Russian DLC, but rumours are rife on social media that the last 5, and that's the 5 that we don't know about, will be free for absolutely everybody. And this raises a question in my mind, and that question is that right? The people that paid for extra content via the Season Pass, myself included, are now effectively sharing content that only should have gone to them. Now, do I believe that last statement? Of course not. I stated a long time ago that I thought with every new release of DLC content, the previous DLC release should be made available for everybody, including the weapons. But I have no doubt in my mind that there will be members of the player base that will feel that they are in some way being cheated out of paid content. Of course, the guys that haven't paid are onto a winner and will get 5 free weapons, and that, of course, if the rumours are true. Now, I could see DICE implementing this idea, and it would certainly not be bad for the player base, but I think the last 5 weapons will be for classes like the tanker and for pilots. So unless you're an avid vehicle player, you may well never see the weapons anyway. By doing it this way, DICE could promote free weapons, but at the same time, not really giving anything away. Again, only time will tell if this comes to pass. The only thing I thought of was that the last 5 weapons were in some way part of the new progression system that's coming with the DLC. If you had to grind out some super hard challenges to unlock a kind of new level 10 weapon, then that would be absolutely awesome. The new weapons will have to be unlocked by class progression in the same way as we've kind of seen that already. So why not put some badass weapons behind a super hard unlock system that would certainly keep me playing, but again, we can only speculate and dream at this stage. Leave a comment down below on what you think about these ideas, and maybe share some of your own ideas, and maybe we can remap DICE's game for them. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and share if you're enjoying the content, and look out for some PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds content coming soon. I've been practicing and I'm starting to get a handle on this highly addictive title. If you do have a PC that will run this game, I strongly suggest you go out and dump 30 bucks, grab the game. It's absolutely wicked, super addictive. Not that I'm leaving Battlefield 1 anytime soon, but I do like to break up some variation. I'd like to show you guys some variation on the screen, and it's always good to see me dying endlessly, running around on a giant map, hiding in bushes, only to be shot by some random sniper 17 miles away. So if that's what you like to see, then that's me, in essence, playing PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. But look out for some of that. I'm going to put it up later on in this week. So, and also look out for my stream on Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock Central Time in the United States. And look out for another video from me later in the week, and we'll talk about more subjects and other fun stuff that I've heard about that's coming up, and maybe even give you some news about PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds for dropping on console, and maybe when we can see that. So thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate the watch, appreciate the views. Please like, please subscribe, and until next time, ta-da.
We have taken objective Charlie.
Grenade, watch it!
An enemy armored train is en route.
I've got ammunition I can spare.
We have lost objective George.
Ground's lost. Let him Sighted! An enemy soldier! Shock trooper spotted!
An enemy armored train has arrived.
Enemy soldier! I can see an enemy scout! I see a flame trooper. Over there. Look sharp! Focus on there. Enemy scout! Sighted! I'm looking right at an enemy soldier. Do you see it?
Take an objective, Freddy.
Hold on to it! That's an enemy shock trooper.
We have taken objective Duff.
Chaps! We've taken the objective!
We have taken objective Apples.
Objective! In the bag! Good work, boy!
We have taken objective George.
A scout! Do you see him? Spotted a scout! That's an enemy scout.